Hey, what's up, everybody? Once again, my name is DJ, doing what I do, sitting back here on a Monday, chilling. And today is going to be my third part of this series. I know Matt been waiting for me to get back to you. He asked me a good question about situations that he was going through at his school, and we was addressing all of those situations. I think my last video was talking about, is it okay to be aggressive in Krav Maga? Y'all should check that out. I did a video talking about when is violence the answer. And I think it was another video as well, man. I got so much going on, I don't remember. But this video is about how to spar an asshole, okay? How to spar an asshole, especially in a Krav Maga setting. All right, cool. Let me get my water. We get this thing popping. All right, cool. So, how to spar an asshole, man. So, basically, he was sparring a guy. They were beginners, okay? They're beginners. They had on MMA gloves, and this guy had a wrestling background. All right. Number one, I still don't understand why your instructor allowed that to happen. You shouldn't be sparring at a beginner level, and particularly you shouldn't be sparring with MMA gloves on, okay? You're not ready for that yet. If you're going to spar with, you should have on boxing gloves, not MMA gloves, okay? And y'all shouldn't be allowed to spar each other to the face, particularly with MMA gloves on, okay? It's just not a smart thing to do. So just let me put that out there. That's how people get hurt. You guys don't have the experience and the control yet to be able to spar, to the face with MMA gloves on as beginners, okay? So I disagree with that totally, okay? At least that from the information that you gave me, okay? I also don't think the guy you were sparring was being an asshole. Just from the information that you gave me, typically you don't find a lot of assholes coming into Krav Maga schools and sparring. Sometimes you do, when we're talking about that, but typically you don't. Okay, it sounds like to me the guy had a wrestling background, and what he was doing when they wrestle, and he's a college wrestler too, a lot of times they use their palms and they like be poking up to your head. I think it throws your opponent out. I'm not a wrestler, but it maybe throws your opponent off balance so they can shoot and stuff like that. It's a pretty typical thing that wrestlers do. And because you guys are beginners and he's a beginner as far as, I guess y'all was boxing or whatever, he was probably doing what he normally does when he spars in wrestling, which came off to you as palm heel strikes to the nose, which he probably wasn't even doing, okay? Again, that's why you shouldn't be sparring as beginners, because you would know all this if, you had a little more experience, okay? However, assuming that, he wasn't an asshole, and assuming that the people that you spar, talking to everybody else out here who want to know how to deal with assholes, assuming that they're not really assholes, now let me get to the question at hand. Like I said, I'm talking real fast because I wanted to get to this. How do you handle somebody that comes off like an asshole in a Krav Maga or self-defense or traditional martial arts setting? The way you handle somebody that comes across like an asshole, or they are an asshole, you handle it three ways, okay? The first way is you talk to them. Similar to the same way for boxing and MMA gym. Normally, that solves the problem. When you spar somebody and they going a little hard or they're a little aggressive. Look at that word aggressive again. And you tell them, oh man, can you dial it back a little bit? I'm new at this, or I ain't trying to go that hard or whatever. Typically, that solves the problem. I'm gonna say probably about 80% of the time, or maybe even 90% of the time, but definitely at least 80% of the time, just talking to them solves the problem, okay? I always teach my students, your voice is your first line of self-defense. If you are uncomfortable with telling somebody in a controlled environment like a Krav Maga school to calm down, then how you going to de-escalate a situation in the street? You got to be able to use your voice. It's very important for you to be able to use your voice. It can get you out of a lot of situations, and particularly this one. Okay, so you got to talk to him. My man Matt seemed like a nice guy, but you probably didn't even mention it. You probably didn't even tell the guy that he was, to calm it down a little bit. All right, so it's all right. That's what you got me for, so I can tell you how to handle it next time. Okay. The second way to deal with a guy who comes off like an asshole or he is an asshole is to defend yourself. Now, let me tell you what I mean by that. When you're sparring or fighting, but when you're sparring, you are most likely to get hit when you are trying to hit. Okay? My hands is up. It's hard to hit me when my hands is up. When I go to throw a punch, something usually opens up. Okay? You are most likely to get hit when you are hitting. So if I'm sparring somebody and I notice they're a little aggressive, right? Then I say, well, I'm just gonna go into my defense mode. Okay, and I just start doing my, my parries, my defenses, my covering, my slipping and stuff like that. And normally I'm okay because I ain't throwing no punches. Okay, and I can finish the round out, and I'm usually okay. Make sense? Okay, so take that as an opportunity to work on your defense. Okay. The third way to deal with that situation is to excuse yourself from the match. I say match, it's not really a match, but because you're not trying to beat each other. You shouldn't be trying to beat each other, but you excuse yourself from the situation. Now, you don't have to say, man, you sparring too hard, I'm going to stop. You can just say, like, hey, tell them out, man, I got to go get some water or, chill out, rest for a second or whatever, okay? That's usually tells the person that something's wrong and they was probably being an asshole, or or stops them from being an asshole. That usually does the trick right there. Okay, so just excuse yourself from the situation. Okay, and then don't spar that person again. Okay, now these are three effective ways. These are three effective ways to deal with somebody that's an asshole or somebody that's coming across as an asshole in a Krav Maga or self-defense or martial arts, a traditional martial arts school. The reason why that works, these three things work typically at this type of environment is because any good martial arts, traditional martial arts school, any good Krav Maga school, any good self-defense school should have this principle, should have this policy. And if they don't, you don't go to a good self-defense school, in my opinion. And it's my opinion Monday. This should be the policy at everybody's school. Leave your ego at the door. There should be no egos involved when it comes to self-defense training. All right? Leave your ego at the door. So if you done left your ego at the door, you don't have no problem telling them not to go as hard. If you left your ego at the door, you don't have no problem with just like, okay, I'm just going to defend myself. I ain't going to really try to beat him and throw punches. If you left your ego at the door, you don't have no problem with excusing yourself from the match because you left your ego at the door. I can't stand. You know what? I got a pet peeve for, like, particularly, I'm going to just say Krav Maga, because we're talking about that self-defense school, but any self-defense school that that's ego-driven, where everybody walking around like they all macho and tough, all right? Stop that bullshit, okay? Because if y'all was that tough, you wouldn't be doing that. You wouldn't be at a Krav Maga school, all right? You'll be at an MMA school. You'll be at a boxing school, all right? You'll be somewhere where they're actually banging, okay? You at a self-defense school. You there because you're trying to learn how to defend yourself, all right? Or you're trying to get in shape. Don't act like you all tough. I'm telling you, man, if you go to one of them schools that everybody be trying to act all big and bad, all right, a Krav Maga school, and if you ever in the D.C. area, Don't bring your ass to CDK. I'm telling you right now. Don't even come to CDK because I'm not having it. Okay? I'm not having it. I'm gonna take you. If you come to my school, I'm gonna treat you like we did the boxing place. I'm gonna give you a talk. I'm gonna give you a warning, and then I'm gonna politely ask you to leave the floor. And if you don't, then you know what? I'm going off on a tangent. I just get upset when these Krav Maga folks be putting down in comments and acting like they real tough. All right? Unless you got a background in something else, stop acting like you real tough. And, you know, the tough ones usually are instructors, or they leave and go to like a contact type of school. All right? Anyway, just had to go ahead and put that out there, man. So those are 3 ways you can deal with an asshole or somebody that comes across like an asshole when you are sparring. Talk to them. 80% of the time, that's going to work. Work on your defenses. The rest of the time, that probably work. And if they still throwing too hard, just politely excuse yourself from the match. All right? All right, man. That's it, man. I really appreciate that 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully, I get some more. And y'all keep them questions coming, man, because my man Matt gave me 3 videos that I was able to do off of 1 question. All right. So that's it, man. Y'all have a good day and peace. I'm out. Oh, one more time. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. All right, got 1,000 subscribers. So some of y'all by the time y'all see this, I might have 20,000. But like, comment, subscribe. All right, peace. I'm out.